Hi, my name is Ingrid Arna and welcome to the Divine Femme Money Show. This is the juiciest conversation for women about money, power, sensuality, relationships and business, but have no fear. If you want to bring a man, he can listen too. I will not stop him. In this bonus, I interview my gorgeous client, Dee. Dee was a psychologist for many, many years. She came to me in her 70s. She's a grandmother, and I remember her saying, Ingrid, I just want to spend time with my grandkids and I'm working over 80 hours a week and I'm over it. Can you help me? And of course I said, yes, I can. So what happened was Dee was earning $200 an hour, which she'd been doing for decades upon decades. She was exhausted. So we had to restructure the way she was working, and I cannot wait to share the story with you. Not only was able to quadruple her income, but she was able to cut her hours down to a quarter. So Dee was like working, grinding away, working at least 50 to 60 hours, get this, every single week. And we were able to cut that right back as she totally repositioned her work to charge 25 and 50K. She now has a waiting list. So I cannot wait to invite you into this incredible divine journey where you're going to hear from her exactly what she did. It's juicy, and let's get started because, well, I don't want you to wait any longer. Let's just do this. You can find the Divine Femme Money Show at your favorite podcast provider and at ingridarna.com/show. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And I have the glorious Dee Tozza here with me, who's a relationship coach, and she has been generous enough to come and share her journey working with me and my high-end Empire Diva team. Hello, Dee.
Hi, Ingrid.
You're looking absolutely gorgeous today. I'm great. How are you?
Thank you. And you too, as always.
Thank you. Thank you. I try. So when we were starting to chat before the video today, you allowed me to share your age, which I think is a beautiful thing to inspire other women that no matter where you're at in life, you can always be great and always do incredible work and grow your business. And Dee, who looks incredible, by the way, just so beautiful, is 71 years young and rocking it online. Can you just sort of share a little bit more about the journey that you've had with me, but just a little bit more about your experience and the work that you do to begin with, so we can get some perspective of your career?
Yeah, okay. So I work for 30 years as a psychologist, and out of that, I grew into working exclusively with couples because many relationship issues were behind it, depression and anxiety and stuff I was dealing with. So fast forward, then the last 18 years have been exclusively couples. And during that time, I learnt to adapt around a multitude of interactions and take control of sessions, which is really important. And then I worked out how to put it online.
Amazing. So what made you come to work with, because you're already doing it, you're already online, you've got an extensive amount of experience. Yes. Why did you sign up to work with me in the high-end Empire Diva mode?
Because you grabbed me at the high end and the diva. I loved it because I feel after 30 years, I know enough to put myself out there and get a voice, and you were doing that and you gave that voice to me. So I'm very grateful, as you know, makes me a bit teary. And I think I knew I was still doing too many hours session to session, and under the older style concept of go week after week, month after month for couples coaching, which can go on for a year. I just got off a group call this morning early, one in Chicago, where people think it's okay to see people for 2 years at a time. Well, I see them for 90 days max mostly. Rarely goes beyond 90 days. I have an occasional couple, and I thought there's something in that I can package, but I need to make a premium. I needed to understand that, and you and your team gave that to me.
So beautiful.
Rethink and reframe everything to think I could do it first, and second, how I would.
That's so beautiful. So what was the experience like working with the team? Were they supportive? What was the environment like? Was it what you thought it was going to be, or?
I think it was easier than I thought it was going to be. I've done a few different things in the past where everything came back to me and I still had to do it all. Whereas with your group, your team, I've got asked questions, and then the questions would be filled in and handed back to me to edit, clean up, refocus, and give me confidence. So I was speaking, I spoke to 2 or 3 of your lovely ladies, and one in particular wrote some beautiful copy for me. And then it gave me more belief in myself to think.
Yeah. So beautiful. When you see your work articulated in a way and you're like, oh my God, that's what I've been wanting to express for so long.
Yes. Yes.
You see it there, is it in that tangible form? It gives you, I know for myself, more confidence to even create more copy, more work that's going to reach your audience. So what has the transformation and the outcome been for you now? Because you already were doing well, but you were working way too hard. I remember when I first met you and we're having a bit of an intimate chat. I don't think you'd mind me saying this. And you said something like, you know, I'm a grandmother. I've got grandchildren. I want to spend time with them. And here I am, like so much experience, over 30, 40 years of experience in counseling, psychology, therapy work. But I want more time and I want to set myself up in a different way. And I thought, you know, when you said that to me, I just was like, wow, because it's so much about why I do this work, thinking into the future as well. Like, how do you want to be in retirement? How do you want to be down the line? And also your legacy of what you're passing on. So I'll come back to legacy in a moment, because I think, you know, there's other things that you're going to be birthing and doing, which I think is really exciting through the work. But what are some of the core outcomes and growth that you can share that have come through going through this journeying process with the business school?
Okay, so are you okay if I mention money or not? Is that a bad?
Talked about that. We love, you know,
swearing,
I love
not
talking
swearing.
about money. Yeah, not scary. And we did talk about this a little bit before. We had this. I said, no, we have to talk about it. And she's like, oh, is it? You said, you know, is it a little bit vulgar? And I thought, you know, this is a conversation that is so vital for women to talk about. And you know this, Dee, we're both converted here. We're releasing shame around the income, because you have such incredible impact with couples and marriages, people who are in dire straits, losing their mind, beside themselves, struggling in relationship, which literally can be so depressive and heartbreaking. And you get to take these people on a journey, and for you to get paid for that is so important, because otherwise, right? So let's talk about the numbers.
So I was averaging for maybe 3 or 4 years around an average 20,000 a month. It would come up and down. I would do a couple of workshop days, and that would spike it for a month. Then I wouldn't do for anyway. So it was all bits and pieces, but still hour to hour at around the 200 an hour fee rate. So then when I started this and repositioned my thinking, even before I even finished my first offer document with you, I'd already reframed my workshop days and built them up to double that to a 500 an hour rate. So, and nobody was resisting it. And I thought, oh, why didn't I do this before? But it's the old belief system, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So over the year, and as you know, I went through a pretty major surgery in May this year. And that kind of, the lead up to that and a whole lot of stuff threw me around a bit. So in June I spiked and I doubled that 20,000 amount just in June, which was only 3 weeks after my surgery. And then in July, I did another double. Amazing. And then in August, I've still gone up 50% more, like it's 1.5 times. So it's like I set an intention for this year for a 500K revenue, and I am on track right now to beat that. I'll be there within probably by April, earlier if I can keep this flow up. So that was
so beautiful. And how does that, it's so exciting. So it means that also you're serving people really deeply, you're doing this incredible little work. Plus, how do you feel like within yourself and your life and your personal life and your health? Like, how is that this new ascension, this new way of working, impacting other areas of your life?
It's giving me space and time. And even though we are in our current phase of life, I can enjoy everything more. I'm not stretched to the energy levels.
You're meaning with
COVID, yes. Yeah. So, yeah, especially in Melbourne. I'm in Melbourne. So, look, it's given me excitement, more joy. I'm not drained. I was constantly drained. One of the things I do is build programs now, and I put in some 15-minute to half-hour support calls, and people get so many a week in their program. So they just get a call. And sometimes they only want 5 minutes to say, well, he said that and I want to say that. And I go, no, don't say that.
I love it. It's perfect. It's exactly what is needed. I know, because when I've gone through some of my own relationship stuff, I was searching for that. And you probably heard me say this a million times and other people watching me. I'm like, if you don't have something to offer people and there's people literally crying out for you, of course you're not going to sell because you actually haven't taken the time to really compute and process. And I love that you've made all these shifts and you've gone into, I know it for sure, that you've really thought about it, obviously during the course and getting the support, but I'm sure now that you've left the course and you're doing this and it's continuing to grow and grow, do you feel like the skill set that you learned during High and High Diva Mind has like given you these tools to go, okay, well, how can I do this better? How can I improve it for the customer? And it doesn't necessarily mean time either, because you're saying these short, because if someone did that for me and checked in with me, I would just love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they can text me on the day. That came out of the program, actually, because I realized I'd packed too much. I was packing too much in. And not that I don't want to give the value, but I was putting too much time in.
This is the thing, Dee, without going too much into it. You can give, this is a shift that I think we want people to understand, is that you can give value without it being an hour, 2 hours, costing you so much time, because you're a master, a mistress of your craft. Like I can see people and be like, and like it'd be done and they get activated and, and go out and make a lot more money, make more sales. Why do we have to sit there for like 2 weeks going around in circles?
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. Yeah. So I've got major infidelities. I've got anything you can even possibly think of that goes wrong with couples. 90 days later, I won't say they're 100% revitalized as a couple, but they've certainly healing along the journey enough that they don't.
Their expansion, and you can do it. And and that's what they're paying for. They're paying for your expertise, the support, the level of care, the level of professionalism, and the speed. Because when you're in suffering, you actually almost can't handle it taking a long time. You want almost immediate relief.
Yes, exactly. Right? Exactly. Yes, exactly.
It's so beautiful.
I bang them in, and I've got time now to bang them in. You see,
bang them in, baby.
Gaps of time.
Yes, because you get the results, outstanding results, a massive transformation. You're getting paid really well, and you have time to scale your business. So, if you were speaking to someone now, and someone's watching this video, what is like 1 or 2 things that you'd say to them if they were considering investing in High and High Diva Mind, if there's like fear or hesitation coming up?
Yeah, no hesitation at all. Just do it. And I know I've seen lots of people that you've interviewed, lots of people say it. You really just do it, because I did it on Good Friday last year in 2019. I got out of bed in the morning. I watched it the day before and I thought, no hesitation, I'm doing it. Then the next day I had the wobbles because I actually thought I would have to do too much for it and I had no time.
Yes.
And I got my time. But what I found was with your team, I didn't have to do much at all other than a bit of thinking and not loads of paperwork to fill out, and it was fabulous. So do it, because your belief in yourself comes from doing it.
Oh my God, yes.
From doing it, from being.
It does. You have to embody it. You have to do the work. You have to embody it. I think, we've been trapped in such a patriarchal kind of thing of, well, it's not really necessarily so patriarchal, but kind of we've all grown up, I think, with parents and the old paradigm of it having to be hard. And I think when people hire you for support with their relationships and their sense of well-being, and I am hired, it's different, but it's the same thing, so that people can go faster with more grace and more ease.
Yes.
It's not difficult when you hire someone who knows. It doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges, but it can be a lot more graceful when you're leaning on and relaxing into someone who's gone before you. It's a beautiful journey. I don't know why so many people feel that success has been sold, that we have to do it on our own, and it's ridiculous.
Yes, that we have to do it on our own. It is crazy. Well, the other thing with it was that the time between the calls was perfect. Back then with you, when I first started with the girls, was just like, oh, well, now I want that. Oh, yes, there it is. Now I want that. Now there it is. So it was understanding going with my learning capabilities of absorbing more. On top of, at that time, I was doing 80-hour weeks, and I was, and I just turned 70 at that point. I'm 71 and a half now. So I just turned 70. I'm doing 80 hours a week. Can't find any more space. I've got 6 grandchildren, age 20 down to now, doing all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, and so how many hours would you say that you work now, and you probably like 4 or 5 extra income?
I'm doing maximum 20 hours a week.
Makes me so happy. I'm gonna have a dance party.
I've actually got it. I've actually got it here. In June, I worked 80 hours the whole of June. July, 95 hours for the month, and there's 5 weeks in July, and 77 hours for 5 weeks in August.
That was last year.
No, that's just that's per month.
Oh, so per month, not per week. I was almost having a heart attack.
Oh, you're having a heart attack. No. Yeah, so in June this year, I was spending 80 hours a week, but in last June, just now, I only worked 80 hours for the whole month. So that's 20 hours a week. And then
life changing. That is just
15 hours a week in August.
That's just beautiful. I am so happy.
Yay, me too.
I'm so excited for you, because I know that you're going to go on into doing lots of other juicy things and programs.
Yes.
So it's going to continue to mature and shift and change as you keep embedding, I suppose, this new, and I think it's so funny because it's such a parallel with relationship stuff, as you keep embedding and changing in the relationship shifts. But I suppose that this business relationship, it's a self-development relationship too. And as you begin to you go, oh my God, this actually does work.
Yeah.
You go, oh, yes. What else can I do? And how else can I take my work into the future at another level, which was coming back to the conversation at the beginning about legacy. So you're looking now at potentially, or you are creating a teacher training as well to take other relationships, to teach them your modality of relationship coaching, right? Okay. Yes. So now we're talking 7 figures, multi-7 figures.
That's what you said.
Income.
I know you said that. My head doesn't quite go there.
It will, because the thing is, if you're selling a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 relationship coaching teacher training, and you sell, say it's a $20,000 and you're selling to 100 people a year, which is only about 10 sales or less a month, that's $2 million a year.
I know.
Oh, baby, bring it on.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, as you're helping so many women who are women and couples, marriages, people that are in dire straits, and actually then giving people a way to make money in the coaching profession, working from their home. I was just saying to somebody the other day, I was getting interviewed by Forbes, and I said, I really don't think women want the corner office anymore. We don't want to go to the office. You know, in some ways, we're still prostituting ourselves, like going, okay, well, I do it for the family, or just suck it up. This whole suck it up type way of making money is really, and I've done it in my career. I've worked corporate, I've done all these different jobs, and I didn't even realize I was kind of putting up with it. I was so ingrained by my family and my father in particular, to get a safe job, to get the security. But if you hate it and it's exhausting and you're not working from your passion and your soul, it's so debilitating.
And you have to get up and go somewhere and battle it all to get there as well. It is,
and still fight inequality in the workplace. Hello.
Who's still there?
Yeah. Oh my God, Dee, I'm so excited for you. I adore you. I am a very humbled by, hearing your experience, but also I'm really passionate about what you do in your work. Like, you're just such a glorious, talented woman. It excites me so much to see people like you really take the work, apply it, and really go out into the world and do the work that you're doing. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you for everything you gave me, and I still get from everything I'm involved with.
Thank you, darling. So much love.
Thank you. Love you too. Big love. Bye-bye.
So gorgeous. If you've been listening and you're ready to grow your booming, beautiful online business, or you're ready to take your current business into a whole other divine, juicy stratosphere, schedule a call with one of my strategists. We're going to map out a 4-part plan to radically grow your revenue and your impact with authenticity, grace, and proven strategy. I cannot wait to explore how we can make magic together. So apply for your complimentary strategy call now at ceodivachat.com.